So yes, a surprise patch just released for the First Descendant, but what in the world has changed? What has improved? We're going to go over that. Plus, we've got to talk about those drop rates. Someone did an extreme examination. In fact, it's so detailed, they went ahead and did 690 Devourer clears, and their findings are quite surprising. You're going to want to know this. Plus, after 700 hours, we've got to take a look at this, and we're going to talk about Season 1 is in 2 weeks. And yes, we've got to talk about some controversies, some major hate. Is it just too much? And where is this hate coming from? Plus some comparisons to another game that actually released right alongside, well, practically alongside the First Descendant. But we got to talk about this brand new, yes, client patch. They posted this blog post right here. If we scroll on down, this was just initiated and put into place on the game recently on all platforms. Now, this fixed aim assist function not working properly, and it tells us to go to the August known issue. So if we head on over there and we scroll on down here, we can actually find what they were talking about with aim assist function. It says it has been confirmed that the aim assist function is working on both the body and weak points of the Colossus in both aimed shooting and hip fire mode. So it seems like this has been fixed and adjusted. I know there were complaints that, hey, the bosses move way too fast. It's near impossible to aim for those weak spots. So I'm thinking that this might actually adjust that and fix some issues with that. Go ahead and try it out and let me know if that is the case or not. Kind of curious because sometimes their translations here, considering that they are a South Korean developer, are a little bit wonky. They've even admitted it in the past. But anyway, let's go over this one right here. Yes, this discussion yet again, which leads us to a thread which was like, whoa, calm down. But check it out. It says this: the First Descendant has lost almost 70% of its players since launch. And I've said to you guys, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I think more players are going on to other games right now, and they're waiting for the new Season 1 update. But it does go on to say this. It says, in contrast, Once Human maintained more player base with limited microtransactions and less complaints. And I'm like, interesting. Let's go ahead and check and see how Once Human is faring compared to, of course, the First Descendant. You got to remember, Once Human released on July 9th, First Descendant released on July 2nd, so it's not that far of a gap. So yeah, let's have a look at what Once Human is doing right now with its player count. Check it out. Now, the 6,800, ignore that. It's in maintenance mode or something, but 131,000 24-hour peak, which is really, really impressive. I was actually kind of stunned by that number. And then, of course, you have the First Descendant sitting at 65,000. And yeah, that's more than half of Once Human. So that's definitely interesting. And I think what's happening is, from what I have noticed, is that Diablo 4 Season 5 has come out. Players have kind of gotten a little bit bored of the First Descendant, and they're either clearing to the end game and they find that farming has become a bit pointless at this point. Let me know if I'm wrong or right about that. And they need something else to chase. And I think that Season 1 will introduce, the new Ultimate, and then, of course, the brand new Descendant, and that's going to bring back more player base. But Diablo 4 Season 5 has been far more successful than a lot of people anticipated, and a lot more fun. In fact, people are saying, oh my God, this is like the best season ever, when at first previews were suggesting, hey, this is going to be the worst season, but it's been a complete flip-flop in that regard, that it's really, really good. And you got to remember, I feel like the First Descendant shares more in common, at least with the player-based mentality, with Diablo 4 in the RNG type systems that it has. So yeah, it makes complete sense to me that maybe, just maybe, some of you from the First Descendant are peeking into Diablo 4 Season 5 for a moment just to see what's up, and then you'll probably return for Season 1 of the First Descendant. But this eventually led into this thread right here. It says, we gamers need to band together and strike this game. They're referring to the First Descendant, of course. I remember back several years ago when Ubisoft dropped For Honor in such a bad, horrible state that all the community banded together and quit playing. I wish that would happen here. This game should have never released in such a crappy state of play. The fact that it did, and people rushed to it and dropped all kinds of money, only further fuels such a crappy game economy. As long as we continue to support such games, nothing will ever change. I have been gaming for 35 years now, and it is genuinely amazing to see current gen titles releasing this way. Good luck all. I refuse to continue to support this hot garbage of a game. Diablo Season 5, here I come. I'll be one less person, excuse me, taking up server space now. Good luck out there. So yeah, there it is. So some people actually trying out Diablo season 5, but I feel like the First Descendant right now isn't in that horrible of a state. I haven't heard you guys saying, oh my God, I can't get into servers. It's just not working. I have heard about that top of the hour type jitter. That does happen as well. But the replies are also kind of like scratching their head over how some people are reacting right now, saying, yeah, like right here, you're in the wrong game form. Diablo 4 is that way, and so on. Personally, I say this game released in a much better state than most of the games in the past couple of years. I just feel like there's a level of over-exaggeration with certain things for sure. And you can go and try Diablo 4 and put down the First Descendant for like a week. It's no big deal. It doesn't mean that the First Descendant has suddenly become like hot garbage. Just take a break off it, return with the new content. But you guys know that I have been talking a little bit about Bunny, and it seems like it ruffles some feathers. Bunny needs to be nerfed, that sort of thing, which I totally disagree with. Leave Bunny alone. But hey, you know what? Check it out right here. Bunny appreciation thread out there, which I know some of you guys will love. It says, post here to show your love for Bunny, functionally, aesthetically, or otherwise. The more posts this thread gets, the more it shows we love Bunny. I, for one, have fun both playing with Bunny and just watching her work. Sometimes I'll steal her kills for lols, but I'm usually content to let her do her thing and finish the quest for all of us a little faster. I don't even mind if Bunny is just standing there clearing the room while I restart the quest to roll again. It's really just convenient. Any other fans of Bunny and haters? Remember, this is a Bunny appreciation thread. High post count here clearly means there's love for Bunny. Troll at your own discretion. Smiley face. So I thought that was funny. I feel like it's a reaction to some of those nerf Bunny posts, People just want her to be left alone. All right, so next up, we also have this one right here. So check it out. It says, these need to go back the way they were in the beta ASAP. It was worth getting them in the beta versus now it doesn't necessarily matter. For anyone that didn't play during the beta and doesn't know what I'm talking about, back then, if you had the stabilizer Amorphous was linked to and used it, you could pick what item you wanted for your reward versus now it just ups the chance. So yeah, a lot of people agree. 359 upvotes. It says, I love it when you finally get one and use it and still get a 32% item. I use them to guarantee I get the 32% item I want. Gotta play the system. So yeah, mentioning all of this, I think this is the perfect segue into this post right here. Check it out. The results from 690 Devour clears Amorphous 078. Now, before I get into this post, we have yet to hear from, of course, Nexon about the actual drop rates, but they promise the drop rates are legit and they are going to give us the specific details eventually on how it's working. But this post gives us really good insight as to what's going on here. Now, I did provide a Google sheet as well. It says, for my previous thread, I was able to farm 690 Amorphous 078 patterns with the shelter mission in 4 to 5 days. I decided to record the data from me clearing all of them in the span of the last 4 to 5 days. Now, proof of the loot might have more or less been stated as I farmed some of the parts beforehand or been researching them during the process. So check it out right here. You guys can pause the screen, of course. But what's the nitty gritty of this? It says, overall, with a sample size of 690, the distribution of loot obtained seems to align with Nexon's stated probabilities. You're just really unlucky. It also looks like the chance of getting a red mod hovers around 45 to 50% per Colossi clear. So the more you know. Some replies, 129 cats. You're set for life, mate. Yeah, I mean, this is one hell of a job here doing this sort of examination. For those of you that feel like kind of frustrated by the drop rates, then again, we will be getting that pretty much guaranteed drop update. So if you are getting super unlucky with your drop rates, they're doing some sort of guaranteed drop update. So if you get to that point, you don't have to stress out. Something will, no matter what, drop for you. So that is good news that they're going to be doing that. But yeah, that's some really cool findings right there if you have been like absolutely going nuts over the drop rates. But let's talk about playing over 700 hours. My take after 700 hours. It says, before someone says that I'm sick or get a life, I'm a retired senior with plenty of time to play around. I do live streams on Kick and just love to play video games. So after 700 plus hours, I could say for sure that the game isn't bad. The grind is much less painful than other games in the same category. Having access to the ultimate stuff isn't hard as it seems. After the recent updates, the game is less Warframe alike and start to grow his own identity. Things are evolving fast. Meta stuff from days ago are not that good anymore, and it's very interesting to see how much effort and attention the devs are putting into the game. The player base also changed to a more focused and open-minded attitude regarding the so-called meta and builds in general, and I see a great future for the game as we could see maturity and effort to make things more fluid and less boring. Look at this, 726 hours, impressive. Then it says, living the dream, retired, and can play video games all day. Any advice for players with 1/7 of the time played or underrated weapons ascendants that shouldn't be overlooked? Okay, let's get into it. So it says, sure, glad if I can help. Use your available time to do the core things. I know getting the ultimate bunny or Valby sounds exciting, but go for the main core stuff. Gold, Kuiper, and lots of amphorous materials and other main materials. Get a descendant you are comfortable with. Forget meta. Play what you like and stick with it until you have tons of stuff. And don't burn out yourself. Play the most enjoyable way for you. Dude, I love how he described that. That is exactly how I play. Just enjoy the game in your own pace, in your own way. You know, like people get so serious about gaming anymore. It's like you have to do it exactly like a pro MLG player. And I'm like over here just doing my own thing, you know. But also, we got to talk about this one as well. It says Season 1 is in 2 weeks with the first update of 3. Are we hyped? Where's the promotion from Nexon? Who's going to be the next Ultimate? What is the next Colossi going to be? Though I feel this won't be in Update 1. We're getting new story plus Descendant story and a new zone and a new dungeon, a new Descendant plus weapon, a new battle pass, more skins. For all this content coming in 2 weeks, Nexon's a little quiet. Well, you know, they're just teasing the new Descendant. It's a slow burn towards the bigger teases, I think. I think we'll probably get a gameplay clip of the brand new Descendant. I know that's what they did with Luna. And I think they did that like a week before her release. So yeah, I think we're getting to that point. You know, maybe the week of the 19th, we might actually be getting some more teases, some like concrete teases of the actual content. So yeah, we'll see. All right, so now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. So yes, let's do this. All right, so what is the top comment here? It says, we should be able to dismantle the lost and found without claiming. Yeah, exact, dude. 100% agree. It's just that one extra step that is such a pain in the butt. That would be such a nice feature if they could add that in. Then it says, please, Nexon, use reroll stats on reactors just like we can on weapons. You know, I really do think that some sort of update around that would be coming, but takes Nexon to officially confirm that sort of thing. I don't think any characters need to be nerfed. Actually, it's the opposite. Some characters need to be buffed or at least a rework. 100% agree. So again, we'll see what they have to say about that. They are kind of like apprehensive of both, you know, and I think they're going to be extremely cautious with how they do things. But yeah, I got to ask, like, what character do you think needs the biggest rework right now? Sound off. Also, it says, I'm confused by the gas tank complaint. Every looter shooter does this. It's to add variety and strategy to combat. I totally agree. You know, I even pointed that out in my previous video. I like to be able to try to funnel in some of these more powerful elites and hit them hard with the gas tank. I just think it's a lot of fun to be able to strategize like that, especially in like solo play. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more of the First Descendant news and updates. I have you guys covered. And yes, look out for some other cool coverage as well. And I will see you all next time. Take care.